A new Jaguar car? We can talk about that. So we talked about Jaguar's pretty awful ad. They finally revealed the car, and it's kind of like, what is the way I've heard it described? Like a gay Cybertruck. Gay, non-derogatorily, but it is just like, it's kind of like that. That's like what it would be. I don't know, it's interesting. I hate the interior, and I'm not comfortable enough in my masculinity to go with the pink, but the other version, I mean, it's, you know, it stands out. It's kind of interesting. Can I show you the interior? I think the interior is fucking terrible. Yeah, it looks like it's from a movie. What's this? Not so pretty in pink. Yeah, but I think this is the key thing, is like they are really going for broke on throwing out every single thing that Jaguar was connected to before, including all of their previous customers, which you could call it bold, but I call it pretty stupid. Obviously, Jaguar sales were down, but I don't know if you guys, we watched this on stream, right? The villains ad? I think we watched this on stream, but I don't remember.
Have you ever noticed how in Hollywood movies all the villains are played by Brits?
We're more focused. More precise.
I think the best version is the one with just him, with just Tom Hiddleston. There's one where it's just him in a parking garage and he's like evading a James Bond type. Well, it's pretty badass.
We're always one step ahead.
The point is, this was actually phenomenally successful. People were saying, oh, well, sales were down and they did the villains ad, so they must have had to pivot. But actually what happened is sales peaked in 2015. Like around these ads, Jaguar sales were massive. They fell off around COVID. They've had a huge fall off. And so rather than like try to find a way to bring back this era of, I don't know, British sophistication or engineering or luxury, and also people that are gonna buy this type of car, they went like a total pivot. And I gotta be honest with you, I just don't, my personal guess is it won't be successful, but I don't know. I mean, listen, you can't 100% know, but it's just feeling like it's not gonna work. Remember the Harley Davidson event we watched where they had declining sales from older consumers? The CEO tried to invest in younger generation, but the board got cold feet. Jaguar. I think that's a great parallel. I think it's similar to that. But here's where Harley Davidson ended up. They realized that like the hard pivot to try and capture young audiences was too late. They realized it was too late and it was gonna bleed them out from both directions. So they went back to the old people and they're riding it out. They're making good money in the slow decline, because that's the only way they're not gonna make money by the pivot. And I think Jaguar's gonna realize that as well. maybe they fucked it up too much, but I think they're gonna realize that as well, bro. You can't throw away decades of brand equity and try to hard pivot. It won't work. People don't respond to it. Like the younger consumers have their own brands they like. They're just gonna pivot. And also young people have no money. Also, to be clear, young people have no money for a Jaguar. Why do you think that so many companies with lots of money are afraid to take risks? Isn't the point of having lots of money? You get fat, safe, and happy, you know? The thing about big organizations is they're like a big ship that's hard to turn. Okay, so it's hard to make agile, quick decisions. And then you have to think about the individual people responsible. They just don't want to lose their jobs. They don't care. They think the company's gonna ride on no matter what. They don't care about growing the company so much as not up huge, because that's how you lose your job. There was a great IBM quote: nobody ever got fired for buying an IBM. And the idea, this is like back in the 80s, but the idea was if you were a company trying to get computers for your office and you're like, I don't know what to buy, you would buy the safe bet IBM. It's like, the marketing worked because these are big contracts from companies that want to spend a lot of money, and they're like, the guy's like, I don't know what to buy. Now IBM sucked ass and got fat and happy, and then eventually people did get fired for buying IBMs. But it's same with Intel. Yeah, it's just these big companies that have like grown comfortable. They've gone lazy and comfortable, and they can't possibly imagine doing anything radically different because that'll get you fired. If it fucks up, you get fired. Better to just stay the course. Hey Shrek, isn't the problem that Sony's going through? They had the little Jim Ryan thing, who's to make everything live service, now they're spending all generation undoing his work. Do you think a comeback, since it's really looking a bad year for them? Sony as a corporation is doing pretty meh, but the PlayStation is still winning, you know? It's still beating Xbox bad. They're doing pretty well. I mean, if PlayStation was its own company, they'd be probably valued higher than Sony's probably dragging down the value of the company. It's like when Yahoo owned a bunch of Alibaba stock, and the Alibaba stock was worth more on its own than inside of Yahoo. Like they split out the Alibaba stock into a separate company and it was worth more than Yahoo. Because the company was so inefficient and bad, it was dragging down the value of actually what it owned. It was worth less than its book value. Hey, big game, you heard of this game called Get to Work? It's kind of like Only Up mixed with Monkey Ball with some corporate commentary. Now that sounds up my alley. Boys! Dude, it was so funny. Somebody messages me, XQC is playing the game, and I'm like, oh, I gotta check it. I tune in right as he picks up the podcast that has Ludwig's voice, and then Ludwig's voice starts talking, and he pauses the game, and he's like, I'm quitting. Ludwig's in this game, and he almost was like, oh no, is he gonna shut it off? And his chat's like Ludwig Pepe Pains. Anyway, awesome day, dude. Today, this is not like the biggest milestone in the world. We sold more copies today than Hollow Knight did today. We sold more copies today than Slay the Spire did today. We sold more copies than a whole bunch of AAA games today. It was just funny. I mean, there's because they were next to us on the chart, so I was looking at it. And Isto was telling me that we have a 94.89% positive review. If you get to 95% positive, it becomes overwhelmingly positive, which is like a huge booster. So if you did like the game, I'm not pushing or anything. We're like a few reviews away from overwhelmingly positive, which is crazy. Damn, I can't believe XQC's playing it. That's awesome. Sea Dog's gonna play it. I think Lud's gonna play it as part of like a reviewing YouTuber game kind of thing. Who knows what else will play it? Do you know what would be the best person to play it in the world is Clint Stevens. I wish Clint Stevens came back and played it. NL would be amazing. So I don't think NL is gonna play it. I think NL is bizarre addicted, but there was this. I wish I thought of this. It would be the most brilliant marketing ever. While he was playing Puck Doku, there was a Today's Doku by Get to Work, which is like incredible targeted marketing for all the many, many streamers that play Puck Doku. And then I thought the Librarian did this as like a nice thing for us. It turns out it is a friend, a Canadian friend of Isto's that just did it. That's very funny. Not me. Genius marketing though. Almost worked. He would be the most fun to watch play it, that's for sure. Chipley playing it. What a fun ass day. I was just watching a lot of people play the game, and Small Ant is just all in, dude. Small Ant is all in on the game. He's been playing it all day, every day, grinding. He's getting fast speedruns. Squeaks is different. Squeaks is different because he wants to be done, but is unfortunately incapable of achieving that. I think he does like the game. He might even play it more, but he did message me. He messaged me. He's so funny last night. After his stream ended, he said, hey, your game has taken me 11 hours. Is this my fault? Is anyone else beating it? And I was like, bro, listen, I feel for you. I'm not very good at the game as it turns out, but he's up at like 14 or 16 hours now and still in the same room. Here's what I'll say. So Isto told me this. The last room has changed dramatically from when we first did it. And that's where everyone's getting stuck. So I don't even, I feel like I'm gonna be concerned. It's supposed to be 4 hours. I mean, to be fair to Squeaks, he's playing on keyboard and mouse and he put socks on his hands, which is just, turns out not helpful. Anyway, it's been very fun to watch, although it's been very bad for my ability to get stuff done because I've been watching people play it all day. Small streamers, big streamers. Oh, it's also cool is the game is about how hard it is to climb the corporate ladder, and it's a mirror on society, really. And so every time someone finds a mistake in the game, it's just part of the metaphor. Anytime like they fall through the floor or it launches them outside of the map, it's a metaphor for how hard it is. You get to write it all off. It's an allegory. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to play it, but I'm so bad with rage games. Well, listen, I'll tell you, the honest plan when we were making it was to not make it like other rage games, in that it's more about fun control and storyline. And I think that holds true for 85% of the game, maybe 90%. Only the very last room is what I think is fucking hard. I think it's extremely accessible and fun for regular gamer, doesn't want to do rage game shit, until you get to the very end. And then it's fucking hard, which is fine because I think it has to have that extra oomph for like, to make it super satisfying, but overall pretty pleased with the range. Squeaks probably disagrees. Well, Squeaks has been stuck in the last room for 14 hours. I've got both hats in the game. Are you proud of me, Dad? Don't mention the second hat. We're not talking about the second hat. I love my chat, dude. I love how different it is. Sometimes people just come in and ask questions while we're talking about XQC playing Get to Work. Do you think that mid-cap companies will perform better under Trump's tariffs and deregulations, overall focus on American domestic production? That's just brilliant. I love your ability to read the room and power through. Yeah, you should buy the Russell 2000. It's going straight up. I don't, to be clear. I think, as per usual, the gains will flow to our top companies, as they should. You know what I'm saying? I think regular small businesses should be crushed underneath the boot heels of the big and powerful. That way they can get bigger and stronger.